and Armstrong Sims.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Monday, everybody. I'll tell you what, I'm looking outside in Waco right now. It's about 70 degrees, pouring rain, and horrendous weather. But now we got a guy who just competed in a national championship and is still soaking up the Florida sun with the aesthetic he got going on right now is immaculate. Coach Michael Woodson joining the show. Coach, thanks for coming on as always, even in such horrendous conditions.
Yeah, it's tough out here. We appreciate you having me. Getting a little bit of a distraction from the weather.
I'm glad that we can keep you focused. Coach, I mean, just now, a couple of days removed from it, 48 hours removed from it, you got to compete in the national championship with the Baylor Bears. I mean, as the head coach of the Baylor Bears, what has this ride been like for you?
It's been an amazing experience, to be out there with these guys, to be alongside them, support them, help them fulfill their dreams. That's why these guys come here, to experience something like they have over the past 5 months. And, to be able to compete in 39 matches in a year like this, stay safe and healthy and have that opportunity it's really something that's going to be hard to really process and fathom, I think, for many, many more days, but just super grateful and appreciative of the opportunities that Baylor's given us and that these guys, the ride that they took me on was very, very special.
Coach, I know we haven't spoken since the Tennessee match when you guys met on Friday, and I followed along with that one pretty closely, and just making it to the national championship was not a guarantee. A lot of experts had Tennessee picked to win the championship this season, and you guys were able to finish that one out. I mean, the gruel that match was, just getting to Saturday was no easy road.
No, not at all. I mean, we had a very difficult draw. I just felt like, this year was such an interesting year, given that, there were so many guys that utilized their extra year of eligibility from last year, freshmen coming in. I mean, there were a lot of super teams out there. Fortunately, we were one of them. But, there are teams that have been playing for a national championship or won a national championship in previous years that didn't even make it to the round of 16. A team like Michigan, who started the year top 5, lost in the first round. So there are just a ton of really strong teams. And to be able to get through Ole Miss, obviously TCU, we know and respect them so much. And Tennessee to make it to the final was an excellent run for our guys. Really great tennis.
Coach, I want to know, this season you guys started out at 15 in the country, and a lot of folks didn't have you guys even in that national championship top 10 conversation. Is that just a weird fever dream for you, being not even a top 10 team at one point in this year?
I mean, we knew that wasn't right, and that was definitely some motivation for us, as you know, and but even being one of the favorites, even being a conference champion, that doesn't give you a right or a pass to play in the national championship match or make it to the Final Four or anything like that. I mean, you see it, some people might be more familiar with other sports, but, such as March Madness, you see one seeds go down in the second round and the round of 16 all the time. So just being seeded to make the Final Four, to make the finals doesn't really do how difficult it is justice. And so, I hope our guys come to eventually understand and appreciate, the magnitude of what they were able to accomplish.
Well, Coach, you get to match day, national championship match day, and it felt like, for me at least from my couch, that you didn't start until around midnight local time. I mean, just the gruel that day was even before the match started. Take me through what Saturday was like for you and the team.
Honestly, we enjoyed the heck out of it. I mean, I had so much fun. Spending time with the guys, getting out there, getting out to the courts, practicing, just hanging out with them throughout the day. That it was actually nice to play a little bit later because we could just kind of spend a little bit more time together. It wasn't anything special. It's just, these are the last days. That was the last day that we're going to all be out there together as a team. And, then guys are going to start to go their separate ways for the summer and some, professionally and otherwise. So, sorry, there are planes that fly over here, so sometimes it's a little loud. But anyways, yeah. So it wasn't. I didn't feel a lot of pressure. I don't think the guys did either. Really, we were just trying to enjoy that moment and kind of take in that time because we knew it was limited and that was going to be it. So, nothing really special. It was business as usual, but just making the most of that time together.
Coach, with how well you're interconnected with this team and have really poured into the guys and vice versa this season, when you get to that moment, you got Texas and Pepperdine going on. I mean, they go more than the distance. That thing it lasted forever. And then you get a shot to compete for a national championship. Was there a motivational speech beforehand, or was this just to go out and take care of business?
We spoke, we had a little, get together the night before where we had each guy shared what this team meant to them. And, that was really cool and emotional. And, the next day it was, we got together, we talked about the same things we talk about for every match. We know what the conditions are going to be like. We know what the other team's going to look like and what they're going to try to do. We know that that the crowd's going to be nasty, turned out to be maybe nastier than we even had anticipated, but it was, we kind of knew what to expect there and just kind of preparing the guys for that situation and, trying not to make more of it than what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just another tennis match they played in thousands. So, we just wanted them to be prepared like normal and we felt like they were ready to go.
Coach, the doubles point. Your guys went out there and absolutely punched Florida in the mouth. I mean, you could tell that really early on, your guys had come to play, whether it be the announcers, the fans, the crowd. I mean, even the faces on the players' the look on the players' faces. Your guys showed up in the doubles point really early on. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, I think our guys went out there with a clear game plan and executed, and credit to them. They handled the situation quite well and, went out there and got that point. We felt like that was going to be a pivotal point for us in the match and, try to get some momentum going into singles and they certainly delivered. It was fun to watch those guys play so well in the biggest moments.
Coach, with that, I mean, this Florida team, I saw it a couple of times, whether it be Florida assistant coaches, players, yourself, with their coaches. I mean, the sportsmanship that went across the way from you guys, what is the respect level that these two programs have for one another?
We certainly have a ton of respect for their players. They have played at the highest level, around the world, and just, yeah, clearly a great group of guys. They're still 18 to 22-year-old kids, and I think their reputations kind of take care of themselves. But I have good relationships with several of their players, and honestly, just feel like they've done a great job there. I mean, that team is very, very strong. It starts with recruiting, and I think the combination of having good experience there as well as talent and playing in a home atmosphere was the difference. And credit to them, they played really, really well on the big points, and they should feel extremely proud of what they have accomplished.
Coach, take me through that atmosphere, because I know, especially coming through my TV on early on in the match, it sounded like the Baylor faithful 1,000 miles away had shown up, and that was all you could hear really early on was that Baylor group. Obviously, as Florida got hot, that tilted, but I mean, it seemed like, especially with COVID, sports haven't been sports, but Saturday you could hear the crowd, and they made a difference from what I heard.
Yeah, that was the first time we've played at 100% capacity all year. And so it was really special to be able to play in an environment like that. That being said, I think the way that the fans behaved made a difference, positively for Florida, negatively for us. And that's something that you can't really, prepare for. You just have to kind of understand this is how it's going to be. And, they might say some things that you're not going to like. And, it's how you respond to that will define you and your team's success. And I thought that Florida handled it and utilized that to the best of, their abilities. And were able to kind of harness that momentum there for a few minutes in the middle of the match that made the difference.
Coach, from a Baylor standpoint and the Baylor faithful that made their way out to Orlando, I mean, were you surprised at all by the contingency of green and gold that found their way to Florida?
I mean, it was absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm so thankful for everyone that came and supported us, not just on the championship day, but throughout the entire week. I mean, it was amazing to see all the fans and how loud they were, how much they showed out for these young men. It was truly special. It wasn't just family and friends. It was Baylor alums, tennis alums, university, employees and staff members. I mean, it was a combination of everybody. It was so cool to see all those people here and cheering for us. And they were, I mean, they did the bet. They were probably outnumbered, 20-1. And it felt like we were right there. It was close. A lot of times you could hear the Baylor fans throughout the entire match. And then, the two matches before that, even though Tennessee had way more fans than us, felt like home matches. And that was really, really cool. And so appreciative of those individuals for making it out. I kind of did expect it just because I feel like these guys have built a great following. I mean, they've done such a great job of engaging with everyone throughout the year that, they kind of, have got to a point where they deserve the following that they have. And it's really cool. It's fun to watch them. I mean, I would travel to watch them too.
Coach, with the Tennessee match and as tightly contested, I talked about this with Sam Gore, how in college basketball you get a week break between the Elite Eight and the Final Four, and then a day break between everything. I mean, for these tennis guys, I mean, they're going back to back to back to back, even into individual and doubles championships. How much of a toll, how much fatigue goes into the team tournament and then moving forward?
It's absolutely brutal. The schedule is, oof. I mean, you can't ask for anything tougher than what they're doing to lay it out on the line, basically empty the tank every single day for, 2 weeks, that you're just trying to hold on at the end of the day. I mean, now that we're into individuals, it's just trying to make sure we don't feel too terrible each day. And especially given the just the physical demands of it, but the emotional demands. I mean, the matches swing, and there's so much more to it than just your match and your doubles match. So it's really, really difficult. I mean, they're asking a lot of these young men and these, student athletes. And, I'm just appreciative that our guys handled it so well. They've been well conditioned. They've been prepared, mentally and emotionally to handle it. And I felt like they delivered.
Coach, going into the end of the match, we've talked about, and Sam Gore talked about it, just Florida taking that. You got the father-son duo, kind of that storybook run, and Florida taking their first title. I mean, really, did you share words with Coach Shelton at all after the match and through that moment?
No, honestly, not really. Just went up to him and the other two coaches and congratulated them, and on a great run that, I frankly know the players a lot better than I know the coaches, and have a lot of respect for the players, and they were dogpiling each other and celebrating like they should. So, got to speak with them yesterday at more length and just congratulate them on a job well done. They were very gracious. The players just handled that situation well, and I think understood, what a quality team we had and how fortunate they were to be playing where they were and to get through. And so, don't know the Sheltons very well, and just congratulated them and gave them the credit that they deserve. I mean, a job well done.
Coach, going into your conversations with the team in the post-match, what were some of those like? What did you say to those guys and vice versa? And I mean, is this already something that's going to fuel you and your program moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we're competitors. Listen, like, losing isn't fun, and that's what we talk about, but our goal is to play on the last day, and we were able to do that. So, we felt confident that we had a team to win, and we all felt like we were in position to win at different times in that match. And I think that's what was so hard for our guys, because we were so close. And that was just hard to see, the guys hurt and see their hearts broken, being that close. But, just explain to them, and they know this, how proud we are of them, how much we love them, and how much fun that journey was that they took us that this match will not define who we are. It's how we handled ourselves in those moments. And I frankly couldn't have been more impressed with the way that they behaved, handled themselves in really difficult situations, and, competed as hard as they possibly could, emptied the tank, and did it as absolute class acts. So, really, made sure that they knew how pleased we were and how much we loved them.
Well, Coach, from the videos with Scott Drew and Dave Aranda and all of the Coach Joey Scrivano to congratulate you on making a championship and wish you luck through the pageantry of the actual championship match, having Baylor Nation, a lot of Baylor Nation there, Baylor Nation watching. All of this for you, even being the head coach now for less than a month. Wrapping it all up into a bow. What has this national championship appearance experience been like for you?
It's been an awesome run, and all the recognition and all the congratulations, everything has been really cool, and I'm very appreciative of that. But to be honest, the best part has just been being able to spend time with the guys. To be able to spend time with this team, with this group of young men, and to see them put themselves through so much, to sacrifice so much, and to be able to accomplish it. To set out at the beginning of the year, to set these goals, to put our heads down, get to work, and to come out on the other end, with so many accolades and so many victories and so much success as a team was really the coolest part. And I think the thing that I'm most proud of is just seeing these guys accomplish things that they've set out for. So really, really impressed by them and pleased and just proud. I'm so proud of these guys.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for coming on today after this past weekend and the unbelievable run. And do you feel like all the niche Baylor tennis fans like that's really growing now? That they're kind of coming out of the woodwork?
I'm hoping that this coverage, really does these young men justice. The sport of tennis and college tennis is really exciting. It's a lot of fun. There is so much action, 6 courts, no ad scoring. Matches are turning, momentum swinging everywhere that you look. There's always a big point going on. And it's so fast. And so, we're excited that, we are building a strong following. I think that's going to serve us extremely well moving forward. And these guys deserve it. These are some of the best tennis players in the world. And you will see these guys go on to have great professional careers, several of them. And so it's really cool to see Baylor Nation and our Baylor family stepping up and following us.
Well, we got you, Sam Gore, and Alex Gruskin all on the same show in the same day. So this is officially a tennis show. I think we're drinking the Kool-Aid. We've locked in on the bandwagon.
I love it. We appreciate the coverage. It means so much to us.
Well, Coach, our Bear Games question of the day today revolves around you and your tennis program. Every caller and guest, we're asking them to congratulate your guys by taking them out to a restaurant, and we're letting them pick the restaurant anywhere in the nation. So you, in Orlando, you got to go out and take these guys somewhere. I know you're not the team ops guy, but I'm sure you get a say. Hopefully you get a say. Where are you taking the boys?
Does it have to be in Orlando?
No, you know what? It doesn't. You can take them to Texas Roadhouse or El Con here in Waco.
Honestly, something, I'm looking forward to getting back and taking the guys to Union Hall. I know that's not that exciting, but I think it's such a great place in Waco with so many different options. And you're not going to have anybody mumbling or grumbling by having to go there.
Yeah. Union Hall, it's the best of every world, and there's plenty of group seating. What an astute observation from Coach Michael Woodson of Baylor Tennis. Coach, congratulations on everything that you put together this season, the team has put together, on being the head coach. I know it's been a whirlwind ride. It's simultaneously been 3 weeks and a year and a half for you this last couple of months. So I just want to thank you for all that you've done, for coming on the show and being a vital part of what we put together this spring. And, man, if you ever get bored over this summer, I got an empty chair right here. You can host some of this show with me.
Just say when. I'll be there.
I love it. Coach, thanks again. It's a pleasure to have you.
Awesome. Thank you for your time. Appreciate the coverage.
Again, that's Michael Woodson, the head tennis coach at Baylor University. Factoring in where that guy started earlier this year as the interim head coach, the situation that occurred for him to be propelled to the head coach, the interim head coach position, and then finding out from Mac Rhodes that he would be Baylor's head men's tennis coach and leading that team to a national championship in a magical run is unbelievable. I mean, when the documentary comes out, hopefully we're in it. Hopefully we have the chance to be in that. And when the movie comes out, I wonder who's going to play me. I don't know who's going to play Armstrong. We got to figure that out. Andrew?
I assume Armstrong will be played by either, I don't know, Brad Pitt or Jack Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, Jack makes a great point, though. Armstrong may have missed out on the movie this time around due to some issues.
Unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah, but what a year. What a ride for Baylor men's tennis, and the eyes of the tennis world, the eyes of the Baylor fandom world were on Baylor men's tennis when they went to the national championship against Florida this past weekend. When we come back, we're going to break some more things down across the realm of Baylor athletics, Baylor sports. We've got a lot to get to this week across baseball, a lot to get to across recruiting. Football's picking up. We're doing a lot of football talk. We're going to settle in, especially as the summer rolls around, into football and preparing for next football season as Baylor gets ready for their first game against Texas State in San Marcos. I'm Drake Toll. We got Andrew Robertson, Jack McKenzie. We got Marquise Cooley and Armstrong Sims, a packed house today. Don't go anywhere. This is Up Tempo.
Just steps away from glory.